Welcome back, everybody, to the world's worst fishing. I'm Chris Jones, and thank you so much for taking the time to tune in tonight. We're going to be demonstrating a new technique to the channel. It's not new to me. I don't do it very much, and I've never filmed with it. Tonight, we're going to show you how to milk the cow, so to speak. And milking the cow is I think probably the best way to achieve a traditional kind of circular spiral swirl. There's many ways to get kind of the swirl effect, the camo blend effect. You have the Angling AI C block, which is a great piece of equipment. It makes it easy. We've shown on here before hand pouring swirls with the divider cup, or not necessarily swirls, but just random mixes and cool blends. You can pour a bunch of different colors into a single injector. We've done that. I think the video was how to get cool 3-color or more effects. So if you haven't seen that one, please check it out. But milking the cow is how you get more of that circular swirl. You've seen them in wave worm and things like that, throwing it way back with the wave worm. So that's what we kind of all know as a swirl. It almost looks like a spiral candy cane effect. So that's what we're doing, and basically what you do is you take your twin injector and you remove the bar, okay? Because the bar is what makes both sides of your injector inject at at the same rate, at an even rate, so that you can get a even laminate. However, if you remove this, these are now independent of one another. So you can basically push one and then the other, one and the other, and basically what you're doing is you're pulsing. So you're going back, forth, and it kind of looks like, I guess, milking a cow. So not sure who came up with that term, but I think that's hilarious. So that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be making like a black and green, just two very contrasting colors, so that hopefully we can see the swirl effect really well. And we're going to be doing it in stick worms, okay? That's normally what you see people doing when milking the cow, is they're making stick worms. So we're not going to deviate from the norm too much. Just wanted to, I see a lot of questions, I get a lot of emails about it. And then the Facebook groups, there's a lot of guys on there asking questions about it. And there's a lot of people answering their questions, a lot of guys that are way better at this than I am. But I said, you know what, it's time to put it on film. So without further ado, we're gonna milk the cow. So first order of business, we have 2 cups of the Dead On Plastix worm blend. This is their new phthalate-free stuff, absolutely love it. So we're going to be using worm blend because we're going to make stick worms, and so I want them to be soft, just like you would expect out of a stick worm. So we're going to go ahead and pop these in for about 3 minutes, and we'll come right back whenever they are cooked up, and then we will proceed with milking the cow. All right, we are in business, and we will see you back in 2 minutes. 53 seconds. Okay, and now that the plastic is in the microwave, we're gonna now take apart our twin injector. So you just unscrew these caps, I guess you call them, on the back, okay? And then this bar just comes right out. Just pops right out, okay? So we're just gonna set that aside literally for the rest of the video. And then we're gonna put these back on. They just screw on and off. I think the newer versions of the Basstackle twin injector, I think these are now larger aluminum handles, caps, whatever you want to call them. They're very comfortable, these, the rubber ones right here, but it looks like they made a few improvements. So now, like I said before, these are independent of each other. So we're basically just going to be pulsing, and we're going to pulse them pretty quick, you know, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And that's how you kind of get the swirl effect. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. Just wanted to show you that's all you need to do. It's just take the bar off, and yeah, that's how you get your injector ready. And we already have our molds clamped over here, and we're using a traditional blending block. Okay, this is just your normal blending block for laminates. However, today we're doing something a little bit different. Okay, now it's color time. So we're gonna add a little bit of black here. Actually, we're gonna do quite a bit. I want both sides pretty thick. You know, I want them thick and I want them contrasting. So we're gonna put that in pretty liberally here. All right, looking good. Stir it in. Okay. Get over here. Yeah. Nice and thick. Even when it's thinned out, you really can't see through to the spoon, and that's what I was wanting. I love how clear it is. Just makes my colors look better than they are. All right. Now we're really gonna load it up with this Flow Lime. Okay. We're gonna put quite a bit in. Again, we want this really thick. And it's hard to match the thickness of the straight black pigment. You know, black tends to overpower everything. That's okay. And then we're gonna brighten it up a little bit with some chartreuse. All right, let's get some stir going here. Yeah. Looking nice, looking nice. Just wanna make sure that we get it nice and thick. Okay. That's actually not bad. However, we're gonna keep going. That ought to do it. I mean, that like really ought to do it. That's a lot of green. So that is what we're gonna swirl together. In fact, you know what? That did not do it. I'm gonna have to put more green in. That's okay. I've got plenty to spare. So sorry if there's a little bit of background noise. Every time I come out here to film, it's a laundry night, and that's just the way it goes. The washer and dryer are in the garage, and there's just nothing I can do about it. So, all right, a little bit more for good measure, and then we're done. We don't want to eat up too much time here on the video just doing the colors, but that's what we're doing. And then next we're gonna add some salt, just to make them authentic stickworms. Okay, so here we have some fine salt right there from Lureworks. This is some really good stuff, and we're not going to put that much salt in here. The new Dead On Plastic, it's a more dense plastic, and it already kind of has a sink rate to it. So I don't really need to just load it up with salt to help add weight and sink to it. It has a lot of those properties already. So for those who really want to weigh out their stick baits to get a certain weight, I think you'll find that you don't need as much salt when working with the new Dead On Plastic. So that's just one of the things to keep in mind. All right, so I mean, that was a little bit less than a quarter of a measuring cup between the two halves, and I've found over the last few weeks that actually looks really good. So anyway, we're gonna heat these back up a little bit, and then we're ready to start milking. Okay, everybody, so a little bit strange of an angle, but I wanted to make sure that everyone could kind of see, you know, kind of a good shot of what we're doing. So we have our two plastics here. Just gonna give them a nice stir to get the salt suspended back, okay? And then you basically put your injector in, draw up the first half, draw up the second half, get them about even, okay? Then we're just gonna put it in the blending block like we normally would. And then here we go, real quick, doom, 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 doom. pulsing real fast, left, right, okay. We're gonna move to the next mold, same thing. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, just like we do in drumming, huh? All right. And, you know, I'm sure you can vary your pulse speed and, you know, kind of figure out what works best for you. And, you know, this is one of those things that's a little subjective. Some molds might do this better depending on the number of cavities, the layout of the mold. You know, just it seems to work really well with stick worms. So anyway, fingers crossed that that turned out well. And yeah, that's milking the cow. Okay, drum roll please. Let's see what we have. Let's see. Let's open the middle one. See what we get. See if we get. Why do I always rotate the molds? Something's wrong with me. Okay, and there we go. You can kind of see the circular swirl. It's almost, there's almost like a pattern to it, so to speak. Yeah. You can see how darkened the black made the green. So, you know, if you look at that kind of, it has kind of an angled, kind of rotating effect to it. And I'm sure, you know, you can get them much better than this, but that's what we were after. Let's look at what some of the other ones looked like. Okay, so far so good. The sprue looks nothing like the well, the actual bait. Okay. Yeah. So again, kind of has that angled effect to it, almost like a spiral candy cane. I think the first mold came out a little better, but nonetheless, moving on. Last but not least, okay. There we have some more. Okay, I like that one. That one came out kind of random, but I like the random stuff a lot. But you know, really, in a way, these are sort of random. But you know, that's you know, you can kind of see again. Here's the spiral. You can see this black and green mix. It's kind of a spiral, and that's what we were after. Was more of a traditional looking swirl. Not so much a random mix or a camo mix, but more of a random swirl. And you know, the faster and tighter you pulse them, you seem to get a little more swirling. You know, if you do it slower, I don't think you get as many rotations, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's what they look like, and that's milking the cow. So yeah, there we have our cow milked stick worms right there. That's a 5-inch stick worm, and we kind of have a black and predator blood type color, which doesn't look too bad. You know, I just wanted something that was that would contrast well and would kind of look like something that you would throw. You know, I could have made just the two loudest colors and swirled them up, and you would see the swirls really well, but they, you know, maybe wouldn't look natural. You know, this isn't too far off, and I think it swirls well together. So yeah, you know, first time milking the cow here on the on the actual YouTube channel. And you know, for those of you who have heard about it and heard what it is, you know, I said, well, now, you know, we can at least get it on camera, and you know, that will help somebody who's never done it. I don't do it a lot. I don't have a ton of experience. In fact, I think I've only ever done it to stick baits. I need to try it with some other molds. I need to try it with the grass grenade, maybe with some swim baits, and then my other worms as well. So I don't know if it, you know, and I should have figured this out before filming a video, but you know, maybe it works best on a straight bait, and that's why you see it a lot with these. You know, I would have to think you could get some wicked effects though, in any mold really. But as far as like the actual spiral effect, you know, it may work better in a straighter worm. So I would definitely try it on all of your worm molds for sure. See which ones are going to work best for you. You know, I still have a ton of experimenting to do with this technique as well. Normally, if I want to blend something together, I pour it now or C-block it, or I'll just pour a bunch of different colors into a single injector and get some cool effects. Speaking of that, let me show you some of those that I did just last night. Okay, so here's a custom order that I did, and I did a video about how to do this where I took 3 different pearl colors and poured them all into the same single injector and injected a bunch of baits. So this is a 4-color blend. It's a Mardi Gras theme. So basically this is purple pearl, red pearl, gold pearl, and then green pigment mixed with some chartreuse pearl, which I actually have just a little bit of it left. I'm gonna have to buy a much larger container. But you know, you can see kind of the randomness that creates. It's more like a C-block blend than a swirl like we did tonight. So let me, you know, if we look at what we did tonight, you can kind of see the candy cane, you know, spiral effect, which is awesome. I need to do that more often. And then you can look at these, you know, you can look at these stick baits, for example, and tell that it's just a completely different look. So anyway, some cool color effects going on tonight. Okay, everybody, so again, here's what we did tonight. This black predator blood, that's what I'm gonna call it, I guess. Predator was one of my favorite movies, and if you've ever seen the Predator, his blood is bright green like that. So anyway, that's milking the cow. It's a simple technique. It's arguably easier than laminating. You know, laminating, you have to really pay close attention to temperatures. You have to really get a good even flow. Laminates are a big challenge. You know, this, you can have a little bit more fun with it because, you know, it's gonna be more random, and you know, it doesn't have to be an exact thing like a laminate does. So definitely try milking the cow. You know, if you looked at all those swirls and gone, man, you know, I'm just not getting the spiral effect, well, that's how you do it, at least in the hand injection world. I don't know how you would get that hand pouring an open mold, at least the spiral wraparound look. I have no clue. I'm sure I'll try it in my experiments, but probably fail miserably. Just not sure how you do that, but maybe somebody knows. But anyway, you know, the more you watch this channel, the more you'll realize there's so much left to learn. I've got a lot to learn. I think most people still have a lot to learn. And the cool thing is, you know, the industry is evolving. You know, we're getting better materials, we're getting better knowledge, more information being shared, newer ideas being developed. So it's just gonna keep going, guys. So I'm excited to see what we can do in the future. But anyway, that's enough rambling. And that's, you know, there again, that's what we did tonight. I think it turned out well. And thank you so much for tuning in tonight. That's all, folks.